The 1988 British one-penny coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a significant example of the United Kingdom's modern decimal coinage, a blend of tradition, precision, and enduring national identity. It reflects both the continuation of British royal portraiture on coinage and the modernization of the monetary system that began in 1971. The 1988 one penny is part of the decimal series, introduced to simplify Britain's currency structure, replacing the centuries-old pounds, shillings, pence system with a straightforward, decimalized scale of 100 pence to £1. This coin represents not only monetary practicality, but also a tangible symbol of national pride, royal continuity, and meticulous minting craftsmanship during the late 20th century. In 1988, the United Kingdom was under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, who had already celebrated more than 3 decades on the throne. The coinage of the period embodied a stable monarchy and a strong economy under modernization, reflecting a nation that had transitioned from its post-war industrial age to a globalized era. The decimalization of British currency, officially adopted in 1971, introduced a series of new coins, including the one penny, designed for easier use and international adaptability. The penny, although a low-denomination coin, held symbolic value as the successor of the historic bronze pennies that had circulated for hundreds of years before decimalization. The 1988 issue of the penny belongs to the second portrait series of Queen Elizabeth II, which began in 1985. This particular portrait shows the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a jeweled crown traditionally worn during the state opening of Parliament. It is a more mature and regal image than earlier depictions, symbolizing the continuity and dignity of the monarch as she advanced into the later decades of her reign. The obverse front of the coin, designed by Raphael Maklouf, portrays Queen Elizabeth II facing right, wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown set with diamonds, pearls, crosses, and floral emblems representing the nations of the United Kingdom, the rose for England, the thistle for Scotland, and the shamrock for Ireland. The portrait is detailed and elegant, designed to convey both realism and grace. Around the portrait is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II de Gregvedanine. This stands for Elizabeth II de Gratia Regina Fide Defensor, translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription has been a staple on British coinage since the 16th century, reflecting both the Queen's divine right to rule by the grace of God and her religious title as head of the Church of England, Defender of the Faith. The initials DG and FD encapsulate centuries of royal and ecclesiastical history within a concise Latin phrase. The reverse side of the 1988 one penny was designed by Christopher Ironside, one of Britain's most respected coin designers, who also created designs for several other denominations introduced during decimalization. The design features a portcullis, a heavy, latticed gate traditionally associated with the Palace of Westminster, the British Parliament. The portcullis is surmounted by a crown, symbolizing the unity of monarchy and government. The design is enclosed by the denomination inscriptions, one penny at the top, one below the portcullis, representing the coin's value. This image connects deeply to the British parliamentary tradition and constitutional monarchy, blending royal symbolism with democratic governance. The portcullis motif has long been associated with Westminster and serves as a heraldic emblem of strength, security, and authority. Denomination, one penny. Year of issue, 1988. Monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. Obverse designer, Raphael Maklouf. Reverse designer, Christopher Ironside. Metal composition, bronze, 97% copper, 2.6 zinc, 0.6 tin. Weight, 3.46 grams. Diameter, 20.3 millimeters. Thickness, 1.65 millimeters. Edge, plain, smooth. Mint, the Royal Mint, Llantrisant, Wales. Although bronze had been the standard composition for one penny coins since decimalization, this material would later be replaced in 1992 by copper-plated steel due to the rising cost of copper. Thus, the 1988 one penny belongs to the final years of the true bronze issues, making it particularly noteworthy for collectors who appreciate metallurgical transitions in coinage. The 1988 one penny was struck in very large quantities for general circulation, ensuring it remained one of the most common coins in everyday British use. Tens of millions were produced by the Royal Mint to meet public demand. These coins were used extensively throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, appearing in daily transactions, public transport, vending machines, and shops. Despite its abundance, Collectors often seek examples in brilliant uncirculated condition, those that retain their original mint red luster, sharp details and smooth surfaces free of scratches or wear. Proof versions of the coin were also issued in royal mint proof sets, featuring mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs, crafted for collectors rather than circulation. In terms of market value, the 1988 one penny is generally common and holds minimal monetary premium in circulated condition due to its high mintage. However, numismatists, coin collectors, often value it for its place in the timeline of British decimal coinage and the artistic evolution of royal portraiture. Approximate values, as of 2025 standards. Circulated, Loro 5, Loro 15. Extremely fine, EF, 03, 03. Brilliant uncirculated, BU, 1 to 2. Proof set example, 3 or 5. The value increases for coins in pristine, untouched condition or those found in sealed proof sets, as well as examples showing unusual minting errors such as off-center strikes, double dies or clipped planchets. The 1988 penny embodies the balance between modernity and heritage. The portcullis and crown unite, symbols of government and monarchy, democracy under constitutional rule, while the Latin inscriptions preserve linguistic continuity stretching back to medieval England. The coin's bronze composition ties it to earlier centuries of British coinage, echoing the materials and tones of the Victorian and Edwardian eras. In a broader sense, this coin reflects the stability of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, symbolizing endurance, national pride, and identity. Despite being a small denomination, the penny has long carried sentimental value in Britain. The phrase, "a penny saved is a penny earned," and traditions such as placing a penny in a bride's shoe for good luck demonstrate its deep-rooted cultural presence. The 1988 Elizabeth's one penny is a modest yet historically rich coin that bridges Britain's royal heritage and its modern democratic framework. Designed by two master engravers, it celebrates both the grace of monarchy and the architectural symbolism of Parliament. As one of the last bronze issues before the transition to copper-plated steel, it stands at a key turning point in the material history of British coinage. Though its face value remains small, its numismatic and cultural significance lies in what it represents: the strength, continuity, and dignity of the United Kingdom during the late 20th century. For collectors and historians alike, this coin endures as a humble but powerful reminder of a nation's enduring identity, artistry, and tradition under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II.